If I just yell, I'm not
everybody.
here loud enough.
Welcome
No one
to.
can see me.
Are you just talking? God damn it, man. I even do the countdown, and you're just like, nah, fuck this guy.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your countdown over my wondrous idea.
True. Welcome to the, God, what is this? Session 13 of the Insatiables. Our dragon hunters, witch lovers, dwarves, death worshippers. I don't know what to describe you three.
Winners. We're winners, John.
Winners.
The winners, true.
We're here to
Gamblers.
win.
We are
I've
gamblers.
won every bet I've placed.
Drinkers. Heathens.
Heathen? Are you a heathen? I thought you were like the actual religious follower, Osric.
Yeah, we're
Compared to
fucking
humans.
heathens.
Yeah, a dwarven heathen. You have to be a heathen to follow a dwarven religion. First step.
I suppose.
There's one dwarven religion.
Guys,
That's all there is.
it's been a long road. Corin finally succumbed to it. He tripped over his leg and is in the hospital. I have no idea where he actually is, but that's way more interesting than whatever excuse he will give us next week.
What the fuck?
Rest in power, Corin.
Yeah. Rib, how was your week?
My week was fantastic. Nothing significant or earth-shattering, but it was fantastic.
It's good. You, Red, how was your week?
My week was fantastic, right? Nothing earth-shattering, but it was pretty fantastic.
And do I need to ask?
My week was actually pretty hard.
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
And yeah, there was a lot of tears involved. Like 3 people died. You know.
Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding.
Was it earth-shattering?
You know, it was earth shattering in a different way. Yeah.
It was earth-shattering, and it was horrible. Got it. Well then.
How's your week, John?
It's been busy, Red. We're getting together a new game, guys. We're gonna be trying to do a 40k 5e conversion. I've got most of the stuff
Games never
done.
end.
I'm sorry?
Said the games never end.
They never do. Oh god. Something, it's gonna be more casual. We're gonna recruit a bunch of different people. It's not gonna be on this server. It's gonna be on a different Discord server. So we're gonna see how that turns out. Which current projections are fire and then disaster.
Yeah.
Specifically in those 2 steps.
That's
What
like
if
Warhammer.
instead it was fire, then spectacularly explosion?
Into disaster.
But your beard's looking nice.
We'll all die, but it'll be cool.
Oh, it won't be cool. It's gonna suck. I'm already dreading it now, Red. Fuck you. How dare you make me face this, Red. Guys, speaking of facing your fears, your problems, and the disasters in our life, what happened last week?
Nothing.
Give me a
Last
real-
time on John Dungeon Master,
Yeah.
we had a small bout of individual downtimes. Starting with me, I went to the top. Pax went to the top of the ziggurat and made communion in his own way with Kinway, the god of death. And then what did everyone else do?
Wait, what's his name?
Kinway?
Hemingway?
No.
I mean,
That was a different god. Yours is called the Old
Jesus.
Man.
It's Jesus.
Oh, Grim. I was thinking of. I wrote a different death god here, but Grim the old man.
Indeed. You're thinking of the dead god. To be...
Yes.
I made the battle axe. That's what I did
Yes.
my downtime.
Simon Huthcock did some crafting. Osric, Strong Fist.
Steel
I
Fist?
forget your last name. Steel Fist. Partied hardy, and greatly enjoyed debauchery in a tavern.
It was a tiny
I
carnival.
think Jonal the Ardent did some studying. And then we went to the Cruel Carnival.
It was a minor thing. Not much happened.
There was a whole bunch of eggs. It's a very eggy carnival. I killed a goblin. Me and Thymond played Dunk the Archfiend repeatedly, like too much actually. It was a problem.
I just
We
paid
get
to push
to-
the button down.
We got to rent a ball on Fantasy November 13th.
Is true.
And we met a crazy dwarf of the Dwarven Embassy who has a mixed up name.
It's
I wrote
true.
mixed up name, but I didn't write the name.
Oh no. Does anyone
name
is
remember
different.
the
Last
crazy
name doesn't
dwarf's
matter.
name?
It's Iron Fist, I thought. He's your
The
cousin.
dwarf didn't remember the dwarf's name?
Oh yeah,
Iron-
Iron Fist is her cousin.
Iron Fist last name.
Last name doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only the first name matters. His first name was his original last name, and that's why we care.
Exactly, which is why it
Yes.
matters.
Yeah, because it's dwarf.
But we had a good time with him, and we explained the riddle we were working on, and he worked through it with us, and he said we should find people who might know what the dreaded throne might pretend to in the riddle or the rhyme. And we said, "Do you know people?" And he goes, "Yeah, let's go crash a party." And he went to drag us to the top of the local ziggurat
Yes.
to talk to litigious people.
We love
Judges.
litigious
To offend a
people.
lot of people, and potentially get answers.
Indeed.
Potentially kill a
We
person.
resume immediately where we left off at the Bu Aid Ren-Abal city. Climbing up a very hot summer day. No, it's fucking November, guys. It's actually quite cool, quite windy up here. It's not shit. It never snows
It's
here.
Fantasy November.
Fantasy November. Thank you, Hen, for the correction. It is necessary. Let's find some funky Elven Glade music. Yeah. You are beginning to clamber on up, going up these stairs to this great big city within a city-sized ziggurat. You see great big stone buildings that tower over you. There are also great big shades that have been set up, connecting rooftop to rooftop. You see city guards, armed with heavy crossbows and short swords, who are beginning to patrol all over the place. In the center, you even see some of the great big ballista that have been set up, and their smaller scorpion kin. These machines of war that the dwarves would recognize, having been the inventors of these siege weapons. You three, Jonal somehow tripping on his own leg and falling down the stairs and just being left behind to do whatever it is that he does. On up with Iron Fist Coton, a cousin of Osric Steelfist. You know, like the times removed. Oh, excuse me.
We're still
family.
fisting together.
It's true. The two Fister dwarves, followed by Thymond Huthcock, as well as Pax Posadio, head all the way up to the very top, where there is a great big palace, heavily fortified. You're not surprised by this. Normally, this place would be like a temple or something, just how cities normally go here. But instead, it is like a fortified palace and a government building, more so than a place of worship. All those buildings you've already passed on the terraces going up and up and up. You're maybe like 700 feet in the air right now, on this great big ziggurat slash city within a city slash artificial hill. And when you get to the top of it, you see several royal guards. Oh, they're beautiful. They're clad in the equivalent of plate mail, the heavy lamellar golden crusted, acid etched. Oh, it's beautiful, Pax. You've seen maybe one of these guys in your entire life as a soldier, and every time they're like messengers for generals. And now 2 of them are just standing right outside. And it's like, oh my god, I'm about to get my ass whipped into shape. You're having like rookie flashbacks.
Armor envy.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe Thymond also has a little bit of armor envy, for although it's not dwarven make, it is still incredibly fancy, high gold value plate mail armor. And you're a bitch in chainmail right now, Thymond.
I could take him.
Probably, honestly, yeah. Level 5 fighter doesn't lose out to many humanoids. Regardless, with your friend, Iron Fist Khotin, he will walk up to these guards, flash a badge that gives him diplomatic entry, and say, "I'm here to talk about the dragon." And the guards are like, alright, and just sort of step to the side.
I was gonna like pat him on the chest as he walks back. Good on you, kid.
I'm with the dwarfs. I'm right with the dwarfs.
You 3 head on into a military checkpoint, and due to the fact that you are part of a political entity, they do not ask you to store your weapons. You are effectively the guards of this one guy, this ambassador who has no staff or any support network at all. He just lives in the city's embassy like a freak. Good old Iron Fist Khotin. And knowing where he goes, one of these, like, little manservant people will be like, "Oh, Mr. Khotin, you're back," and it will just chest grab, pushed to the ground by Iron Fist, and says, "Where's your master?" And immediately the guy's like, "He's in the parlor with all the other dignitaries. We're so glad you came," and just ignores him entirely. His poor butler and manservant getting bullied by a dwarf. Pax, do you have a flashback again?
Yeah, bit of a flashback when I go to help the person up. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
thank you
these
so
dwarfs
much.
are quite brutal. They're quite brutal sometimes.
It's true. We manservants have to stick together, eh?
Yeah, yes, of course.
This guy will
Bags,
follow
hurry
you. Specifically just with, like, a broom and dustpan to clean up after. I mean, you guys are, like, road-weary dudes who just showed up in the city today, an hour ago.
Like shedding dirt everywhere.
Yeah, they're just like, "Oh, quickly, yes, sweep it up. I need to get a mop." And you guys head to this fancy parlor room, which is now currently doubling as a war room with several official types that are standing around a great big table, not even talking over a war plan. They're just literally just talking around a table right now. And immediately one of them catches your eye. This ancient human, maybe in his 70s, with a great big gray mustache that honestly looks more alabaster than anything else. He looks up and says, "Oh shit, they've multiplied." Immediately, as soon as he sees Iron Fist, who starts laughing like a maniac. "Ah, Corbin, you stupid son of a bitch! You're still kicking around, eh?" He's like, yes, everyone, please welcome the dwarven dignitaries," he says, trailing off, looking at Thymond and Osric. "Are you representatives of the Khotin clan? Or hold, or city?"
No.
Oh. Why are you two
I mean,
here?
we're distant relatives, if that's what you're referring to.
No.
We solve problems.
Yeah, it's...
Well, we have many
Hear about
problems
dragon?
right now. Iron Fist, who are these people? And Iron Fist will give the worst explanation ever immediately. They're like, "They're dwarves from the west. That's all you need to know. And they're here to help
That's a
me
great
kill
explanation.
your dragon." Oh yeah, it's great for the dwarves. That's all.
I mean, that's straightforward to the point. That's all he needs to know, really.
Well,
We're here to help.
Yeah, this is Pax. He's also with us. Pax, say hi. He also kills dragons. Hangs out with dwarves.
I was about to say,
That
it's
part is
quite
true.
strange for a dwarf killer to be hanging around with dwarves.
Gotta keep us on our toes, you know?
Oh.
Always ready.
Are you here to peddle your services as murderers for hire?
I mean,
yes,
we're gonna do
yes,
it
we are.
regardless. I mean, oh, we're getting paid? I was just willing.
Well,
I have I'm on a mission from my god to kill dragons.
Oh. Well then.
Yeah, I'm here
but-
for religious reasons. I don't know about the other two, to be honest.
First
we all
dwarf is
had to-
free. Second dwarf, you have to start paying extra. For the human, even more.
Yeah.
Well, we
You
aren't
get a
in
bundle,
the
though, I'm
business
sure,
of
if you
hiring
negotiate.
just yet. We're still in the intelligence gathering. Iron Fist, I think you've brought these people a bit too soon.
Do
Iron
you
Fist is
have
like,
information yet?
Where's the fucking dragon? Listen to him! And he points to Osric.
Me?
Yeah, what do you have to say to this guy?
Fuck, I don't know.
Here to kill
Here to kill a dragon or talk to a dragon, potentially, depending.
Talk to a dragon? What do you mean?
Yeah, our mission is to get Sarl with a super cool magic weapon that we create out of blood stolen from various creatures or things. That part I'm less sure about. All I know is I'm on a mission from God.
Well, you should have told me sooner. That makes so much more sense. Does anyone have a more cogent response to my question of what you're doing
That
here?
was pretty clear. I don't know about y'all.
So-
I thought that was really...
To our current information, out west there is an invasion force that is either led by or is in contact with a large red dragon that is very dangerous. We need to head west for various reasons, because we believe there is a dreaded throne, and we must get to that, but in its current state, guarded by the red dragon and an army, that makes it very difficult to do so. So we need to either sneak by it or kill it. And in doing so, we can gather information, which we can give to you guys at some point. But we just need to know if the dreaded throne is over there.
The dreaded throne?
Yeah, you guys know what that is? Like human
Or
thing?
it could be referring to a more distant destination to the north. We believe it to be west. North and west.
Iron Fist will speak up and say, yeah, we had a sorcerer with us who was a bit more on the subject, but the stairs got him. You should really
Put him
think
down.
about getting an escalator
You know what
installed.
sorcerers, man? Oh, weak knees.
Super weak. He couldn't even jump more than 4 feet.
Nope.
It's insane. He's weakling. Anyway, you said something about a riddle. And you're beginning to, like,
Hey, none of us know the riddle.
all three of you, like, look around the room of, like, these military officials. And who have just been dead silent the moment you, like, enter this room. Iron Fist looks entirely unabashed. Doesn't give a shit at all about these guys. But for this human who is engaging with you all, who's beginning to realize these fuckers just sort of walked in here by the seat of their pants in the middle of an official meeting, have literally nothing to add except stuff we already know. Mr. Steelfist, why don't you go to the local, you know, brewing hall, and we will meet you there with a better delegation to your needs. We are in the...
Is that a yes or a no to the dreaded throne thing?
You want to hear the riddle? We can say the riddle.
No,
I don't know the riddle.
not particularly. You sound like you're
The
all
riddle
very
is important,
busy
alright? It tells you
people.
how to kill Sorrel the Insatiable pretty aptly. And
Yes, everyone and their
part
mom.
of it is finding this dreaded throne play. I feel like you guys are not taking us very seriously on this.
I'm not going to lie. You are not worth taking very seriously at this moment in time.
That's harsh.
We have a bit
That's
more
very
pressing
accurate.
matters to deal with.
What's the pressing matter? The dragon?
Yes,
We offered to
there's
kill it, you said no.
Do you know where it is currently laired at?
Where's the
No, but
dreaded
we would be-
throne, man?
But
Okay,
we
so
would be
you
willing to
don't.
be hired to learn that particular information.
Are you offering your services to scout for us?
No, we can do that.
Of course, yes, happily. Anything to serve the local, to serve the Buyid dynasty.
Hey, can we go on scouting for these motherfuckers?
Pax, give me a
They were very
persuasion
rude.
check. And I'm gonna say do it at disadvantage solely because the two dwarves do not look like scouts. One of them being in heavy hassle chainmail armor.
In
Oh,
my
God.
defense, I'm a reliable guy. I'm fairly reliable.
That one.
John, I'm known for my reliability.
Pax, the shit-eating grin crosses your face as you say anything from a Buyid dynasty. Just, you can't keep a straight face, man. You try so hard, but it just pierces through and everybody sees you're full of shit immediately. They're like, Mr. Iron Fist, please go into the other room with your companions. We have business to attend to, and I will speak with you after the fact.
It was very rude.
Iron Fist. Free liquor. Always looking on the bright side of a situation and diplomatic failure. He will storm out. Apparently, having been through this song and dance before, just bringing up nonsense to the local authorities and then getting offered to drink instead of actually talking about whatever issue he has brought up in the past. He's like, come on, Steelfist, let's make asses of ourselves in front of the gentry here.
Ozark leg.
You eyeball the 70-year-old man.
Yes, yes. We're the same age, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Old man's an old man. This noggin's still thinking. But one of us
Simon.
has a great chest, and the other one does not.
True.
You know what I mean.
Simon, you look puzzled.
I'm thinking. That's why I look puzzled. I'm thinking if like there's a way we could switch this around.
Probably not anymore now after that one.
Yeah.
Pax, you sheepishly walk out of the room with your companions.
Sometimes you just gotta wait and try again, kid.
You head on down a hallway to a local servants area where there is a full bar set up. Basically a tavern inside of the palace itself. Great big lounge chairs, pillow pits, as well as what is effectively a hookah imbibing station. Oh, excuse me. Where you guys are free to get blasted in the company of Iron Fist Coton here. Do you all wish to speak with yourselves until something happens?
Ozark has an idea.
But let's discuss stuff. So we had to go most likely west.
Maybe no
Which
one
is-
answered the question, really. And I'm pretty sure they had an answer. We were just too rude to get it.
We is a big word.
Listen. We can't
We-
blame
That's a big
Pax
word.
for being a stupid human. It's not his fault he laughed. It was funny.
We could have sold our
Actual-
services like skirmishers or something, but
Double Fist, can I look at that badge that you have? Is that special? I go wherever the fuck I want badge. Does it say your name on it?
This is my name on it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'd give you a forgery if I could.
I was just gonna give it to Pat. No, if, like, you know, not to talk down about myself, because I do love myself. It's an important dwarven quality to have. But Pax is very good at sneaking around. So I was wondering if I could give it
No,
to
you
him
can't
and just
give it
let
to
him.
He's a human.
I know.
You
He
give
doesn't-
anything to
I
them and they
understand.
just die and it goes down their family line for 6 generations before it shows up again.
Well, he has no family, so I
They're
can
like
guarantee that's not going to
dogs.
happen.
See, you say they have no family, but I don't trust no human that says they don't have
Pax, you
family.
wrap it up, right? You know how to do that. They talk about that in human school.
Jesus Christ.
I have no offspring, if that's your question, Osric.
That we
That
know
was
about.
my question. Thank you. See, he's got nothing.
That's
Look
what
at him,
he's
he's
telling
sad.
us.
I perfectly happy. Let me fix you everyone a drink, and I'm perfectly happy to go sneak.
Have fun.
I don't think you want to go sneaking around a palace, Pax. That's how you get your head locked in a noose.
It's a good point, Mr. Kotem.
That's some espionage.
Kind of when I wanted to have the getaway free card. But...
That old man, Corbin, is he the local suzerain?
No, he's a influential judge who...
He's a judge.
He's a judge, yeah. The judges are a bit more influential than the suzerain in this city. You know, this place is basically on the front door of the palace. Makes sense in their own weird way.
Well,
I imagine that we're just getting brushed off.
No, they'll
You
send
think
us.
maybe
yeah,
we
for some
could,
reason they didn't take the I'm on a mission from God very seriously. I don't understand why. These must be ungodly people.
They'll come and talk to us later, I suppose. I just really wanted to get an ear in on their meeting.
Oh, anything that they do will be public information. Sure enough. You know, killing a dragon's a lengthy process, guys. I don't know how many dragon hunts you've been on, but it's not just suddenly a dragon shows up and then you fucking kill it. It's not an
That is kind of what happened the last time we killed a dragon kin.
You killed a dragon? No way.
Nope,
No, dragon kin. We're
It
working our
was-
way
it was,
up. We're gonna get there.
Again.
It was but a young wyvern.
Oh,
It did just kind of show up.
Well, we don't care about wyverns. Wyverns are a dime a dozen.
Yeah. Again though, it did just kind of show up.
that's really
Girl. Field dragon, especially an adult.
Yeah, our plan
28.
last time, and this might work again, I don't know, is we just got just the worst asses they had. You know, just the donkeys that they don't care about. And we stuck them on some shabby wagons, and we rolled them out there, and we said, you look fucking delicious. Alright? You entice. Okay? And that did happen. And it
But-
came, and I flew up into the air, and we met in a battle of great renown. It was it was pretty fat. Yeah, the little sorcerer guy that like broke his ankle out there going up a stair. He had a whole fireball come out his ass. It was great.
How big was his
The
ass?
story is greatly nuanced, but Osric is forgetting how intelligent dragons can be.
Well, that might be fair. Okay, horses, not asses, horses. Some real purty, real fat horses.
But still, dragons are as smart as you or me, Osric. They're not simple beasts.
About that, or to be fair, just saying. If they were so smart, they wouldn't be dying left and right now, would they?
Well, I don't think they are dying.
They
left
were.
Yeah, what are you
Once upon a
talking
time.
about? Sorry.
We'll get there again.
Like
All right.
it's a
Have you ever
great
seen
story
the
when
hit
one
movie
does fall.
Reign of Fire set in England with Christian Bale and that other guy? It's kind of like that right now.
I believe, okay, in the future, which is that dragons just dead everywhere. All right, return to the day where dragon hunting was a respectable career. Okay,
Fucking
and not
hard.
just some old fantasy Osric that you had in your sleep.
They're probably more worried about the fucking army behind it. Apparently, there's whole.
That is a concern. That is fair.
Yeah. Those hills aren't just fucking goblins, they're also hobgoblins. And hobgoblins are not just as smart as us, but they're also, some might call them more industrious in terms of war. You know, they don't really
I've killed
do
a lot of hobgoblins.
civilization building. They just kind of show up and throw down, which is like respectable in its own weird way, but like,
One tried to running from me. I was very upset.
yeah.
We snuck past a lot of them last time. And then a Hydra showed up, and we were just like, you know what, Hydra, you have
You
fun.
guys have been on some
these
adventures.
there
Why
goblins."
don't you tell me more
We
about
have.
them so I can speed us along this narrative clock we're on?
So I guess Pax will fix drinks for the dwarfs and do the manservant role as we entertain.
No one said you
Lord
had to.
Gotan.
You guys will hang out inside this palace's parlor, I suppose? Or one of many parlors? Helping yourselves to the liquor than the dwarven constitution. Is anyone actively trying to get super drunk?
You're on
It's
business.
a diplomatic day.
Okay.
When you're on
diplomatic
business,
day.
you get tipsy.
Alright.
You
Also
get
gets a
business
little
tipsy. You get bipsy.
Respectably tipsy.
Respectively, yeah.
A bit tipsy is bipsy.
yeah.
There we go. You guys will drink lightly then, and eventually a magistrate, which is basically a under-chief to the local judge, Corbin, will come by and say, "Hello, Mr. Coton. You have returned to grace us with your magnificence. And you have brought companions. I was told that you have a request for the rulers of the city." And Iron Fist looks to you guys. They do, yeah. What was it again? I've already forgotten. Dreaded Throne.
Need to locate. Yeah.
We're
We're
looking for a
looking
learned
for
man.
something.
Someone
Help.
learned to help us answer a riddle.
Yeah.
About what may or may not be the location of the dreaded throne. We believe it to be in the Valley of the Forgotten Kings, but we believe it could also be to the north into the Palace of the Forgotten Emperor.
I have just rolled what is known as a secret history check for me, the magistrate, and I, unfortunately, do not know anything of the sort. But I do know that the Valley of Forgotten Kings is currently infested with hobgoblins and an adult red dragon, and who the hell else knows what. And entering it, already a super hilly, brambly region filled with cactus and scrubland that it's almost impenetrable to go on foot, would recommend you not running to your deaths that direction. Not that I'm saying it would be impossible for you all to infiltrate. You do look like the most stealthiest sleuths I've ever seen. He focuses on Thymond in heavy chainmail armor, as well as Osric, who just looks loud and very, animated.
The two dwarves.
However, if you are looking for riddle information, you may wish to speak with a local... not architect, that's more like an engineer. A
Archivist?
scriver, I believe they're called. If you have a legal matter, which I assume you might in the near future, you are of course free to come contact any one of us here at the local judiciary. We enjoy helping our comrades through the trials of human society.
Yeah, I have a question. So you said with a fair amount of certainty that the
Archivist.
adult red dragon is in the Valley of Dead Big People or whatever.
The Valley
Right.
of Forgotten Kings, yes. We
Hey.
saw it fly off that way after burning our southern and then northern way station.
Okay.
Indeed. Unless
And
it
is that the
doing
first time you have seen a dragon come from that area?
It has been several decades since the last dragon attack so deep into our territory, yes.
And the goblins and hobgoblins there, do you have people that you send out to there regularly that reported this to you?
There is a... and he will bust out your map. Ta-da! The entrance is heavily guarded. It is a known pathway into the inner territories of our kingdom/empire. We're not much of an empire. We're all kind of... you know what I mean. We're an empire that's not really an empire. Regardless, the hobgoblin host crossed through a road that is heavily patrolled by 2 fortresses as well as 2 separate towers, where wizards are constantly scrying on those who approach. He pings them on your map.
Okay.
Regardless...
Before this most recent... Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Before this most recent threat of Sarl's split-up forces, there was a necromantic threat in the Valley of Forgotten Kings?
Yes, about 40 or... I suppose they're more sporadic than anything else. You know the types of undead, I assume. They're all adventurers. They're not all raised by necromancers and given a nefarious scheme. Some are more natural and haunt ancient places of magical power. The Valley of Forgotten Kings and the civilizations that used to inhabit this valley that we currently live in were all sort of washed into that area. And when they came to a drenched rest, their spirits never truly passed on. Necromancers periodically would go into that location under subterfuge, seeking treasures, or in some cases, raising their own private undead armies. We haven't had a serious threat of that in quite a long time, however.
I see.
I'd say 80
Thank you.
or so years.
How big did the last threat get? Did it get like, you know, call me king threat, kind of?
Well, you know, when... I'm honestly not sure. It was well before I was alive, but from what I understand, it was a sizable enough threat where the royal palace itself was endangered. So, you know. It wasn't great.
Is there a local scrivist that you would recommend us ask about?
A really
Oh,
old
we
one that knows
haven't-
lots of shit.
I'm sorry.
A really old one that knows lots of shit.
Well, if you want the eldest living memory, our elven ambassador, and immediately Iron Fist just starts laughing to himself, like, I'll be the day when they share information. The Elven Embassy has had an ambassador here since this city was founded over 330 years ago. He's almost as old as our... well, he is older than our empire, now that I think about it. But, regardless, he would probably be your best bet. I don't know why he even chooses to remain here, of all places. Otherwise, we have an archives, or you may try your hand at speaking with the local temples here. They all have their own libraries of obscure knowledge, but I cannot vouch for any, true lore you may find there. Our archives mostly deal with legal affairs. Written accounts of things, histories, and the like. The temples are more wider in scope.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Should we have need of you and your services of killing this red dragon, I heard that you offered to join in that hunt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Any chance to kill a dragon.
Particularly the less dragon pot and more of the accessory work it might involve.
I am sure we will.
No, I'm down for just straight up killing the dragon. We might have some disagreement here over what we want to do, but
I will keep that in mind. I will remind you all, although it might feel like it's been weeks since this dragon attacked, it's only been a literal day and a half since it showed up. So we are still very much in the what the fuck phase, not the ready to act and go hard, as the kids might say.
Dwarves still say that. I still say that. I'm 300 years old.
Ah.
But I'm down to go hard whenever you guys figure your shit out. You just let me know.
Understood. Anything else before I skedoodle?
What's her name?
Stop asking me my name. I don't want you coming to my house. My name is Dan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Dan.
Yes.
The most human name I've heard, Pax.
Not to be confused with the other Dans.
There's other Dans?
In the world, yes. It's quite a common name, I'm told.
Crazy.
Anyway, bye! Magistrate Dan will wave goodbye to you all, and will assume that you can see yourselves out. Iron Fist will take a full bottle to go. Anyway. Fucking dragons, right?
Mm-hmm. They don't seem to have their shit together that well. I mean, I feel like Dragon, you gotta move.
They thought they were
Sitting around
safe.
talking about it.
Can you believe these idiots not expecting a dragon attack at any moment?
Always expect the dragon attack, especially
Every
when
day.
you least expect it. Every
That's
day.
why we live in mountains. Like, if you live in a mountain, the only thing that can attack you is a dragon. So you better be ready to fight a dragon.
Exactly. I was teaching my children at young ages how to take them out.
Exactly.
Go for the ankles, I said. That's where you can reach.
That's your people's problems, Pax. You're not ready to rock and roll at a moment's notice.
You guys die too young, so you forget.
I have too many kids,
Well,
too.
That's none of that's quite accurate. We plan and
Where? When,
and
Max?
strategize. That's what they're doing right now. It's only been a day.
A day.
For such long-lived races, you are all about
in
haste.
Dwarven cities, you're just saying a day is a day too long.
It is a day too long. We got so much time on our hands, we better be ready.
The
There's
best
no
time to
excuse
kill
for
a
a
dragon
delay.
is yesterday.
Fucking elves think they have all the time in the world. We dwarves know.
I know we gotta go
what's at
talk
stake.
to one.
Alright, I'll stop being my casual racist and head on down to the embassy. I don't know where you fuckers are going, but I'll see you wherever you... he trails off. Already, he's been getting blitzed this entire time. You guys are like taking it easy. He's like, fuck it.
I think we escort
Thank you, cousin.
Lord Dan back to the embassy, and then we set about finding more information.
Yeah.
I
At
think we
one
have to
point,
find
he'll
those out.
trip over himself and just go down the stairs.
Walk it off. Walk it off.
Yeah, where would you like to go next?
You
I
said
hate to say it, but
local-
we should talk to the elf.
You think
I
an
would-
elf's gonna talk to you or Diamond?
I'm a reliable
For
person.
me?
I think if we ask very nicely, I will put on a bow tie if I need
That's
to.
not how
It's
you ask
charming.
nicely. It's not when you wear it. It's more like a threat to fashion.
Then I'll
You
wear
putting
the
on a bow
same-
tie seems more threatening, actually. I think
I
we
will
will not be
very
seen.
I'll bathe if I have to.
That
If they
still seems
ask
like a
me
threat.
to. I'm
Let
just
us
like,
attempt to see if we can gain some sort of entry at the Elvish Embassy, but I'm not hopeful.
if we say it's for dragon related purposes, they will probably move.
Not an elf. I don't think you've met many elves.
What if we say it's for demon related purposes?
Certain elves.
So, from what I've gathered, they say don't go to this very specific place because it's dangerous. Which sounds like that's exactly where we need to go.
That was my thinking too. That's me too. Me too.
That's not how that works. It's
Usually,
dangerous
the
for a
place
reason.
you're supposed to go is the exact path you need to take.
Where else are you gonna find this super special blood shit but the dangerous place where a bunch of necromancers go to raise dead and have death parties?
Or we
Trinity
go north
Throne?
and check
That sounds like a
journals.
cool place that a necromancer would go to fucking party.
I mean, I don't
guarantee
disagree
you.
with you, but we might.
Thank you. Anything
better
after the
off
butt, I'm
actually-
not listening to.
Yes, I figured. Or we might be more well served to go greater north and try Journal's other guess. In a less dangerous land. Less dragons. But we can try ourselves at the Elvish Embassy. When we get kicked out, I will not say I told you so.
You'll be thinking it hard enough for me to hear it.
I will.
You
We
guys
go to
will
the
head
Elvish
on.
Embassy.
Yes. Give me 1 second.
Do you need to come up with a Dan and Elvish name?
No, I already have Danielle. That's Elvish. That's a
Yanif.
well. His casual name was Leechy Dan, but we don't need to talk about him. Leechy Dan doesn't
Leechy Dan.
exist in this world. Now I want it to be a D name. Fuck. Maybe I'm gonna change this guy's name.
Amos.
Tamos. Oh yeah. Fuck. I'm just. Yeah, sure, that works. You all will head to the Elvish Embassy, and you will quickly find that it is staffed by half-elves. And in somewhat disgust for the dwarves, who quickly realize that all these half-elves look quite similar, they are all related to the one elf who exists in this one place.
This is why elves are disgusting.
How dare they staff a full football team with their offspring?
They're just too potent, man. They live too long.
This embassy is of a great stylized tree that sits on the north-facing river on the fringe of the city itself. It is fenced off by a grove of trees that have their branches interlinked and interwoven to create a palisade of sorts. It is quite idyllic as well, with a babbling brook that runs all through it, quite wide, where there are fish and amphibians and a full ecosystem out front, with great big reeds that are all fed by the Ur-Ateru River. The trees themselves that create this palisade are fruit-bearing as well, and immediately, even in the, like, let's call it the shadow and threat of dragon obliteration, the local people right outside on this fringe use these trees to supplement their own food source, which seems to have been a common deal with the people itself. It's almost like you're walking into a cultist commune in a weird way as well. For there are stations, or not commune, but compound, I should say, where there are great big fruit press that people are doing and working at. Some of them are half-elves dressed in a vaguely elven uniform. Others are just random townspeople who are using the tools and providing services for the local compound to benefit off what they make. These great big fruit trees are creating juices. Some are being put into barrels to make cordials and wine. There is an abundance of food here. Which seems to be to anyone's open, if you can pick it and make something with it, it's yours, basically. For PAX, this is kind of like the dream agrarian, like human, what would we call it? It's just an idealized version of, like, an agrarian society. For Thymond and Osric, this is, like, elven bullshit you've never seen or heard of before. Like, there's way too much stuff going on here. And also, people just sort of... There's too many people working in one location. This is far too urbanized to also be a rural, like, food place. There's not enough industry. Not enough coal is being burned right now.
All these trees could have been used to make, like, a bunch of chairs.
Yes, exactly.
It's awesome. This is so
These are
nice.
beautiful wooden trees for a wonderful table for beer.
You could smoke a lot of meat with this.
But it makes fruit
much meat.
for wines and substance. This is
Wine is a pansy
wish-
drink that I use to occasionally clean my shoes.
This could all have been turned into pastures for goats, and then we could have been drinking fermented goat milk. I mean, this is just a waste of space.
A delicacy.
Yeah.
Whichever power watches me sometimes, they know not what they say. They don't understand.
We know what we're saying.
And Peps is talking to himself. This is what this stuff does. It makes humans crazy. It's too much fresh air.
You're just talking and shooting the shit, like, right outside the compound looking at stuff. Like, some random villager shows up and is like, "Hello, welcome. How may I help you today, fair travelers?"
Is the elven guy that owns this place here?
Oh, Lord Damia, yes, please, follow me.
Right.
He loves hearing stories from wayward folks such as yourself.
I got so many stories for this motherfucker.
Well, I'm sure he'd love
one
to
particularly
hear it.
polite story.
Yeah.
This random guy, literally just a random dude. He is not a member of the embassy. He is a human who just works in Renabal and is just here on what is effectively a day off while the city is under siege.
Osric, like, leans close to Thymond. They've enslaved the human populace with their juices.
This is exactly what the cult did last time when we burned down their tree.
Not what this is. Y'all are
exactly
small-minded dwarves.
The patterns. You need to start recognizing the patterns.
We're short.
No,
it's very
not
similar.
The same at all.
It kind of is really similar to it. Thymond and Osric.
We gotta burn down these trees.
You head on to the main, quote-unquote, living structure that is this great big oak that sits dead center in this compound, providing shade for not hundreds of feet, scores of feet for sure, where there are stations, I suppose, that people can sit and be comforted at without destroying the nature's beauty. some of the great big roots that support this massive oak have been shaped to be that of chairs and benches and flat tables. It's quite neat looking and has clearly been a struggle for sure to make. There's no easy magic way of getting this set up. And as you enter the great big archway, for this is a doorless compound, you will see that there is a lordly elf overseeing the work, sitting upon a big old pillow, uh, being attended to by random people, including some of his presumed half siblings or half children, as well as a few genuine elves who are just sort of enjoying their time lazing about. As if there wasn't an adult red dragon who just fucking strafed a way station 2 miles away.
Happened a few weeks ago. It's fine.
It was
Hello!
yesterday.
The elf lord Damia will greet you. Hello. Who are you? Speak.
Greetings, Lord. I'm Pax, and these are my companions, Osric, Stillfist, and Thyman Huthcock.
Ah,
And
dwarves.
we had some questions about a riddle concerning the Hoarfrost Witch.
Ah, yes, I remember her. She was quite an interesting character. A true busybody. What may I tell you about her?
Well, in the riddle that we were given, it made great mention of a place, the Dreaded Throne. And they were trying to help narrow down where we might go. And we figured we would come ask someone as wise as yourself.
All thrones are dreadful in a way, he opens up with. I'm sure you all understand the principles of what it means to be an authoritarian, to make decisions, how when you see a throne you can be absorbed by it. There are many dreaded thrones, none greater than the current one, or none nearby, save for the dynastic palace. Your current emperor, king, leader, lord, Mr. He looks to Pax. What's your name? I didn't catch it.
Pax.
Mr. Pax, your current king is currently being consumed by his very own throne in his weird quest to maintain
Wait,
power he's already has. Yes?
not to interrupt. There's someone in the lounge right now.
What's his name?
Oh, his name is Jonal, the absent.
Al-
Jonal the Absent? Immediately, the doors open wide as Jonal, going through a doorless archway, throws them open. We'll be right back, everyone. Hello, everyone. We are back with Jonal the Absent. Welcome, Corin. How are you doing?
I'm absent.
True.
Up here, at least.
Jonal, you spent your early morning climbing up a ziggurat, tripping down that ziggurat, so you missed out on the first meeting, and then finding out your friends went down a different staircase and left after you got to the very top. You then went all the way down to the stupid elvish compound that is very cult-like, super nature-y. Honestly reminds you of the demon cult that you burned down not too long ago, just color-coded to be green and purple. And now you barge into a doorless archway, big oak tree that has formed into a gathering hall where your companions are standing in front of an elf who's sitting down, surrounded by his half-elven children and some elf courtiers. You limp on in, Jonal, as you hear this guy go on this stupid, incredibly liberal and progressive talk that all thrones and authority have their own aspects of dread, and he's working towards what the dreaded throne is. But unfortunately, you interrupt. What do you say to your companions who left you behind?
Hey, I know I'm kind of small sometimes, but, like, listen. You can't forget, I fell down that, like, one stair, and you guys just, like, kept going.
Oh, we knew you'd catch up.
Who are you?
I thought you were like, I thought someone took you to like a temple for healing or something. You were crying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't deal with criers. Anytime my children cried, I just gave them to their mama and walked away.
I also do something similar. Hello, who is your friend, Mr. Pax? Who's this man? He's not one of mine, is he?
This is my... I don't know, actually, but this is
I
my good
sincerely
friend
hope not.
Jonal, who is our foremost expert on the Hoarfrost Witch.
Hello, I'm Jonal, the out of breath.
I see. You don't look like one of mine. I won't question further into it, because you truly do have so... Like, look at your McDonald's outfit. No, it's so gaudy. All of my children prefer cool colors, like greens and purples and blues.
All due respect, sir, please get to the point.
Yes, Dreaded Thrones. Good old... what's her name? Hoarfrost Witch. Oh... Let me roll an intelligence check. If she was mentioning a specific throne... I suppose it would have to be the one... Gosh, what do the humans call them? Emperors? Yes, the one of emperors. It sits atop a grand pyramid structure set in the middle of a barren waste and guarded by an ancient gold dragon. Or rather, I shouldn't say guard. Shell doesn't really guard anything. She more like stays there. The pyramid's top is towered or tipped with gold, and above that, there is a levitating throne that has upon it a corpse, I'm told, of some magical power.
Good, that's all I needed to know. I'll walk out.
I think that's...
Great, thank you.
is that the... straight north, the Palace of Forgotten Emperors?
Yes, but I would
Guarded by...
be careful going up that way. The elements and elementals are quite devilish. It's also unplottable for most land-based creatures that rely on hoof transportation.
We need to fly.
No. But don't bring a camel
use
or a
our
horse,
shoes.
is what I'm saying.
Ah.
Oh, an
Arduous
elephant.
journey on foot.
Like, as soon as they
And
go
you
into
mentioned
the
a dragon.
sand, it's steep enough or deep enough or soft enough that they just sort of break their legs. It's quite sickening.
I see. Now we're speaking plain to each other. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, it's guarded by an
mentioned,
ancient gold dragon, so make sure to bring some offerings.
Offerings, okay. And the
Do
dragon's
they have
name
a
you said was
preference?
Shell?
Yes, I don't know her full name, but she went by Shell of the Seven Rivers back when she was around. Or, I
Does she
suppose,
like
more
shells?
active. I'm sorry?
What offering do you give gold dragons typically?
Well,
I'm
I don't
unfamiliar
give
with.
any dragons any offering because I'm an elven lord and they should be graced to deal in my presence. However, were I but a weak human or dwarf, I would likely give it money or gemstones or magical spells of unique powers, or I don't know, an iPod 7. You know, something like that. A unique magical item that cannot be replicated.
Okay, well,
And
thank
if you
you.
were less financially
Still talking to him,
resourceful,
okay.
I was trying to see what other
I don't
offerings we
know.
could prepare.
I'm
'Cause
not
I don't
poor.
have. Ah, of course.
Yeah.
Fucking elves. Well, you live outside.
What?
Nothing. Let's
Okay.
go. Fucking hippie ass, goddamn.
This is sheer arrogance. Is there anything else?
Is there anything else, Janal, that you want to question the great and intelligent Elven Lord
Damia.
Dami or whatever his name is?
You could call me Dami if you wish.
No, I can't think of a thing that I want to know from this man.
Oh, I am.
Can we have some of your blood?
No.
If you need it, just ask. Just ask
No, I
us.
thought, you're ancient and we could try it in a stone.
Not ancient, he's just an elf.
Yeah, same thing.
Yes. Anyway, have fun.
Well, thank you. Of course, thank you.
As a commemorative moment, you are given a bottle of a red plum wine.
Wow. Thank you. This will make my shoes smell so good.
If you say so. Shoe sniffer. He mutters under his breath.
Hold me back, Tyler. Hold me back.
This is going in the book of grievances. You'll never forget it. Write that
The
one
four
down.
of you, now gathered up, head outside. It's quite cool, quite windy, despite the fact that, it is mid-October. No, fantasy
It's
November.
Fantasy November.
Yeah.
We can put this on the list of hierarchies we must upturn once we have great and immense powers.
Just that one. I don't
Just
care about the
get
other
rid
ones.
You might not have a list, but I have a list.
I'm glad
Are
you
we
have
on
a
the-
list. You can put on there that he told me to call him Dami. Alright? I know I hate that.
Put it
And
in
I
the
hate
book
him.
of grievances.
And he sassed.
He helped us? Why are we offering
He
grievance
sassed
to
me.
this person to help us? You deserve to be sassed, Osric, all the time. I wish it happened more often.
You know what, Bax?
That's the meanest thing you've ever said.
Did-
Did
you've
you
ever said
hear
to me,
what he said to you about, oh, I don't know, I've never been poor? What a fucking...
You don't feel like shit
douche.
after that, Pax? Come on.
Like,
The
if
guy
you're gonna
elves
say
aren't poor.
something like that, you at least
He
have to
probably
offer us like
sleeps in
500 gold.
tree.
Look how rich I am. I can just give you this 500 gold
He
to go
uses
offer the
a
gold
ripe
dragon. You know?
peach as deodorant. All right.
A poor elf is an oxymoron. There's no such thing.
There should be more of them.
No, there's a lot of
kind
oxymorons.
of
We could
agree.
say Pax's eyes, and it would mean the same thing.
One eye.
Yeah, that's the
Kind
joke.
of low blow, Simon.
Is that a low blow? Is that worse than calling
You're
you
kinda-
poor?
For a dwarf, you're punching down.
Listen, if there's no such thing as a poor elf, then why can't they take care of their kids? Tell me fucking that!
That guy seems to have
They
a
have
lot
of
of kids
them.
he's taking care of, to be
There's
fair.
like 50 half elves here, dude.
He fucks. I think he was coming on to me for a second. Unsure.
Let's
We don't
let's
question
ignore
the
it.
sensibilities of elves, guys. They're
I don't want to
alien.
know what that abomination would be. We gotta leave before I think too deeply
That's
about
where
this.
the ogres come from. He mutters behind you. Hurry up, get out.
Stop listening in on the conversation.
We're having a fireworks
man.
show later tonight.
You're like my ex-wife.
Anyway, bye. You guys walk. You were escorted kind of out of this area. Not by, like, armed guards or anything, but just, there's so many fucking people who are happy around you. It's so weird.
Ugh.
I could take out like 7 of them before they realized I was a threat.
Yeah. Make a house. Do something with your hands.
What do you guys do now that you are home free once again?
We have direction, but we don't have any offering for a dragon.
Let's just take one of the
I have
half
one
elves.
idea.
What is your? Is it Pax's other eye? That is a gift that you can't get anywhere else. He's only got the one left. It's precious.
This is true, but I have a very unique magic item that
Is it your?
one of
your-
you got for me just recently. And I'll pull out my +1 magic knife of goblin slaying.
I feel like the
You
dragon
cannot
would eat
find
us
this or
with that.
replicate this anywhere else. I guarantee it.
You know,
I already
that's a
have-
fucking steak knife.
Guys, I already have the perfect offering. I've made it a while ago. I have a beautifully detailed manticore spike that has our adventure of killing the manticore engraved on it. And that's pretty cool.
That is pretty. I don't think it's magical.
I don't know, it's a gold dragon.
his
Just keep it
teeth
somewhere
into
and
the
be like,
rope.
look
A
at this.
dragon named Shell, by
Who
the
else
way.
has this type of manticore spike that's detailed with nice white paint that I bought
They
for like
probably
a
want
copper?
like a pretty crown, like a really big stone that they can stare into and get lost in their luxurious golden eyes.
Or a chest of gems or something. We need to rob a gem merchant and then walk north with a chest full of gems.
See, if Belle was here, we could just search through her shit. We got lots of pretty stuff.
I have a total of 5 gems worth in a combined total of 50 gold pieces.
That seems low for a dragon.
I have that and a manticore spike. That's my offering. Okay, if they
And
don't
what
like
do I
it,
go back there?
then it's a
I
bust.
killed Dami, all right, and we just bring his corpse over. And like this guy probably irritated you too. Now he's dead. You're welcome.
Why would you kill a gold dragon, though? They're good.
No,
You
the elf.
Oh,
I mean, you must be suspicious of all dragons, all right? You never know when they're gonna get one over you. Don't matter what color they are. They never should have been created.
very narrow mindset. Jonah, what do you think we should do?
Surely, as folks of Destiny, we would find something of worth on the way, right?
I
That's
mean, we
how
can just hop
Destiny
over
works.
and like kill the other dragon really quick, and just see what it's got in its hoard, and just take some of that over here.
Well, that dragon has an army, so I'm gonna veto that idea. Ozark.
Well,
You could give her an army.
We could tell her about the other dragon that, like, I don't like they like mortal enemies. Don't they just like want to fight? You could inform that dragon there's another dragon on its turf.
I mean, I don't know if it's
They're
on
very
its
far from
turf.
each other.
That's, 800
Dragons
miles
have, like-
away or something, right?
Dragon's turf is like
What
thousands
if we just
of
bring
miles.
her a
Okay, they'll be
friend?
pissed no matter what.
just like a friend to hang out with. Is there someone who's really lonely that just wants to live with a dragon for the rest of their life?
Isn't there like that one little child that keeps popping up every so often?
Yeah, that one.
You want to hunt little
Hampshire?
Hampshire down and give it to a golden dragon?
I'm sure would
I mean, it's
love a
very
gold
tempting.
dragon. It's a life-changing experience, John.
Yes.
Didn't
Oh,
have a
it's
child.
not like Donald just wants to like wing it, go north.
To play, what we call devil's advocate for Simon's idea a little bit of informing the dragon of an adult potentially infringing on her territory. Perhaps you could double down on this offering, go up to the people of this city who actually have a fuck ton of resources and be like, hey, we're gonna go talk to that ancient gold dragon. Anything you want us to do? And then you could, like, pull the switcheroo. I don't know how deceptive you wish to be here, though, Simon.
I'm a reliable man. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go talk to the gold dragon, but we need offerings, and we're gonna tell that dragon there's a red dragon infringing on its turf. And then hopefully they'll
I think we
duke
should
it
just
out.
kill the red dragon.
Well, yeah, but we'll have a
Who
gold
wants to
dragon
kill
up.
the red dragon?
Also, like, we could kill the red dragon and have a gold dragon on our side to help kill it. That's like
Yeah.
it couldn't run. It would be forced to fight.
I sincerely doubt that gold
If it
dragon's
tries
gonna
to
get
fly
off his
it-
ass and do anything.
That's why we gotta convince it with the city's money and not our own money.
But no, that's a great idea. Let's take this. Maybe we let them cool down for a day because they already hate us. I mean me. And then take this offering to Judge Corbin, and see how it goes.
I don't think they hate me. I think we could take the site right now.
I think it's a good idea, even if we do not want to necessarily steal or what's the word? Abscond with the money of the city in ill repute, right? If we're heading up to a gold dragon anyway, and they want gold dragon assistance with this problem, like, if nothing else, we can probably get a little bit of pay for that, and then make a side offer to the dragon about what we need.
Worth
You know, if
doing.
anyone's
One arrow,
gonna
two
do
birds.
that, it's gonna have to be you. We went in there and they were just not convinced, although I do think we gave them a pretty good rundown of the whole situation.
What did you say? What did you do to these people?
We just told them very simply
I
what we're
laughed.
doing.
I left at the wrong time.
They do think Pax is a manservant, though, so, talk down to him.
Fair enough. You mean he isn't?
Oof.
I know where you sleep, Jonah. Let's go ahead and
Funny, Janelle.
I don't think I got off with the wrong foot at them, because I was only very straightforward with what we knew.
I was also very straightforward. It's not my fault they didn't take it seriously. That's all on them.
I think you were on a different mindset than what they were on, and so they
I
hate
don't-
you.
Listen.
I think they've been around Iron Fist for too long and they've forgotten, the true worth ethic of a dwarf that has not been, living in such fine luxury for such a long period of time. I mean, he can just go wherever he wants. He doesn't have to fight any battles ever.
Well,
Okay.
I don't
so-
want to go on my own. So, which of you is on?
We're going
the
with you,
least
Janelle. We just
bad?
think you should talk.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go there. So we're all agreeing on the plan of going to the city, convincing them, hey, we're gonna go talk to a gold dragon that a red dragon is inferring on its turf. Here's a bunch of offerings. Can you help us kill the red dragon? And then
What?
while we're there, we
What?
also collect the
Okay.
very specific thing we need. And then everyone wins.
Yeah, I mean, we just tell them that we're going to the Gold Dragon anyway, and we want to offer our services. That's basically what we say.
I do feel like we wait a day. That way, they feel like we've taken the appropriate time to weigh the severity of this plan instead of showing up literally 58 minutes later. The new plan, like
But
they might
maybe
not
they
even
think
listen to
we're
us.
really efficient.
I don't think they'll ever think
Yeah, this
that
is
of
not
us
a
ever.
severe plan. I think this is pretty straightforward, personally, Pax.
Right, it's very straightforward. I'm a reliable person.
I have experience negotiating with higher powers. I think we give it a day. That way, they take us with more gravitas.
He's just gonna bitch the whole time if we don't listen to him, Simon.
Pax, you smiled while trying to take them seriously. I mean, I don't.
Is there any
Jesus,
way?
Mark-
Arguably,
very
you were the one that
experienced.
offended them first.
What happened to our dwarf friend? Is there any way we can get put in a formal request for an audience? That way that they take
We
us
just
more
kind of showed
seriously.
up with him, so if you want to do this
He
today,
doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He just shows up.
Okay,
No.
if you want to talk to him, we will have to wait today because he's probably blacked out drunk right now.
He might also be that. I can just take his thing and just, my cousins are practically the same
no.
person.
How that
I
works.
think that's treason.
Maybe to
Okay,
you.
so how do we
It's the
get
highest
on
bar.
their docket so we're not just interrupting their shit and wrecking their stuff?
Didn't
Um,
Dan say we have to make a formal legal request?
Yeah, if we go
Just
break
like
a law, they'll
their
talk to us, maybe.
Opposites. You dwarfs are thinking opposites again. But Thyman, yes, I think, in general, I think we can go make a request at the gate of the palace for an audience tomorrow,
Okay.
with at least a magistrate, if not Judge Corbin himself.
Or Dan.
Or Magistrate Dan. Okay.
Okay,
Oh, that is the magistrate.
let's go enact our plan.
You go to enact your plan. Let's see if it goes off without a hitch. General highs or lows?
Highs are always good for us.
You all head on up to this great big palace once more. Many a stairs.
I carry
God, it's like 700
Carry
feet in the
Jonal.
air. I'm sorry?
Jonal, because last time he had a hard time with the stairs.
I don't think you could make it by holding Jonal. I think it'd have to be
I'll carry
Osric
Pax.
and Simon. It's a two-man job at the very least. You
Me and
all
Simon.
head on up, and as you guys do, you quickly realize that the royal guard presence has increased 8-fold. You look at the 2 guards who have multiplied into 16. They are currently standing in almost like shoulder to shoulder in like lightning bolt formation. And as you guys approach, you see that someone who has been turned away already is stepping by you, and it's just like, I'd go up there if I were you guys.
We're not you.
Yeah.
Alright, go to the fucking funeral.
I'll invite you.
You guys head on up to the royal guards, these great engraved plate mail wearing fucks with great weapons and heavy crossbows and pole arms, all their unique fighting styles, and they stare down at you as you approach. Who speaks to these guys?
Looking at Jonal. Jonal's looking
Okay.
at me.
Yeah, I
I'm
will.
staring straight at them.
I'll step forward and I'll say, "Hello, fine gentlemen. We are looking to inquire about getting on the docket of one of the magistrates to talk about the
Dan.
problem."
Dan,
Magistrate Dan.
A Magistrate Dan apparently is our contact. About the problem with the red dragon.
War Council is currently in session. Return tomorrow.
You want
Is
to
there any-
super grab Iron Fist?
Is there any way to get officially on the docket for tomorrow, or must we
No.
simply return tomorrow? All right,
Let's
thank you
return
for your time.
tomorrow.
feel like a coup going on or something. You guys okay?
Let's go drag up.
Okay.
Let's go drag drunk Iron Fist up here. Again.
Tomorrow.
No, we can do that tomorrow, Clement.
We can do it tomorrow. When whatever has
You dwarves
happened
are
in
very
here
hasty.
has happened.
Yep. All right. Time to throw myself down these stairs.
You fall down, chasing after the guy who slipped before you. Just as you guys passed him, he's like, "I want to go up there." Remember, you just immediately fell. Just, you guys go.
Stairs
and
are really
find
dangerous.
your inn, where you can find Bahamon. It is currently the 13th into 14th. Any nighttime activities you guys wish to do other than rest, or should I fast forward us a day?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's see if a dragon attacks the city.
Please do.
It'd be
Please
funny
do.
if the entire city just burned down right now.
They'd be forced to listen to us.
This is the dice segment. Ah! What is that, an 82? That's not a dragon encounter, is it? No.
Damn.
There is a brief, dreaded moment as fireworks in the northern half of the city go off for some reason. People
That
not
fucking guy.
realizing that there's a current blackout ban, and any noise or sound that draws the attention of aerial creatures to the town is not good in this moment in time. Damia, Lord Damia, the elf here, will undoubtedly be bitched at sometime in the near future. But for you guys, it is a relatively stressed but peaceful night. There's no great jubilations. All the inns have very low burning candles and lanterns rather than dealing with any sort of paper lanterns or street lights or anything like that. Once people are like set in for the night, no one's really leaving. Due to this low traffic and low jubilation, as well as the city being partially evacuated, at least for those who could leave, they have already left. It is quite quiet compared to the other towns you have been in, even though you sit on the front door of the country's capital. You all have a short rest. If you have any sort of features or mechanics you need to replenish, go ahead. Eventually the dawn breaks. You know, you rested so well into the night. You guys are active at like 5 a.m. What would you like to do?
Probably too early to head up those stairs. How long does it take to climb the stairs?
It's a 700-foot staircase, so...
We should probably grab Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is definitely not up this early.
You don't know me, he says behind you. I've been
He's
looking for
still
you
up.
guys.
He
I've been
didn't
up
go to
since
bed.
3 a.m. I got that old man energy in me.
This is true.
Ah, what do you want?
Gotta go up.
You gotta talk
Jadal's
with those
back.
guys again?
He has an idea.
Alright, let's go.
We're gonna carry him this time so he doesn't trip on the stairs again.
Who?
It was my idea.
I was about to say, not my idea. You guys are just
Credit
making
where
fun of
credit's
me.
due.
I will give you credit for very little things.
And I'll push you down the staircase, okay? You're good at me for that.
Disrespectful to your elders.
Also,
Well, I think we make ourselves way more presentable.
Pax, you look presentable. As presentable as you can. And you guys head on up this fucking annoying-ass staircase. Jesus Christ, there's gotta be a faster way, you think to yourselves. Apparently not. Iron Fist Khotan will take you all up. And again, there is a heavy guard presence here. Maybe not as much as there was... my internet dropping? What is happening? Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Sir?
Not as bad as it was in the late afternoon yesterday, but it's still much heavier than what you'd normally expect. It looks like Hen is sensing things from outside of her house right now.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
He's listening for cat mischief.
I suppose so.
I know the look.
You okay, Hen?
Yeah, there was just a nice altercation outside that I got to watch happen.
Oh.
The car crash?
Well, no, I have direct line of sight of like some apartment buildings, and they were a couple people screaming at each other about a dog. So
Unfortunately,
very loudly.
You guys will head on upstairs. You will meet these guards who will at first be like super like, nah, it's way too early. And then Iron Fist will be like, get the fuck out of my way right the fuck now, bro. I got the backing of a goddamn country behind me. These guards are like, not easily intimidated, but also understanding who this guy is. Be like, give us one moment. After 5 or so minutes, you guys will be allowed a re-entry into the palace. Entering on through, you will be met once more by a very tired-looking Magistrate Dan, who looks like he did not sleep at all last night, or if he did, he slept inside the palace over the side of a couch. More so than anything else. He will kind of cut you all off before you even enter the current war room of this place. Hello! Oh, wow, I'm tired. How are you guys? Why are you here?
We come hopefully offering solutions to the problems that seem to be impending for this city. Our destiny draws us northwest into the desert surrounding the Palace of the Forgotten Emperors. We thought perhaps on our way there we could beseech the gold dragon that lives there on the behalf of the city.
He contemplates for a long moment.
We have a plan.
Come with me. Rather than taking you to a parlor of fancy drinks, Iron Fist, I suppose, will depart because he has actual stuff he needs to get done today and not be a massive drunkard. This magistrate guy will take you all to the second floor of the palace where most of the work actually gets done. There is a open door office that leads out to a window, and you can see now that the interior courtyard of this palace is currently packed with people. It is basically a not sanctum, but a enclosed garden that sort of has full open access on the roof, where a fountain and several chairs have been brought out that into a very wide open space. They look like soldier types immediately to you all. Pax especially can notice some familiar heraldry upon some of these guys' armors or banners or tabards. This is like a gathering of lieutenants of many generals, Pax. It appears that this dragon has fully gotten the attention of the Buaid armies in this area. The magistrate will close the curtain, revealing this scene, and will speak quickly. We are having organizational chats of the highest sensitivity. We expect you all to remain professional while you're here. Do not leave this room. If you do, you may be tried for espionage. I cannot be more serious about this claim. For your diplomatic immunities, whatever they may be, will be null and void. Stay here.
Yes, sir.
Of course.
He will leave.
You got it, Dano.
After about an hour, Dan will come back. It is now truly a sunny morning. As well as in tandem with Corbin, the judge, as well as a man you haven't met before. A man named Lodar, who greets you and says, I am the local suzerain. You will wish to represent my city, do you?
Yes, we would like to be the bearer of solutions, not problems, to this fine city.
I see. He looks you over, Jonal, with a large scrutiny. What relationship do you have with Shell of the Seven Rivers?
Our destiny, laid forth by a grand and multi-step quest, has drawn us to her doorstep. We only know her by reputation. We have no particular in or friendship with her in the past. I will not oversell our offer.
But I will. We will have a relationship with her as soon as we bring her a great offering. And potentially news of one of Sarl's kin getting close to her lair.
The one thing gold dragons hate the most
Is being
is red
bothered.
dragons.
Shell is an ancient gold that has outlived all kingdoms of human make. She is one of the most ancient creatures besides Sarl the Insatiable. She may not have the divine spark that Tiamat gave him, but she has been around since the First Age. We have tried making pact with her before. We have tried making pact with all the surrounding dragons, and one commonality has always struck us, and that is all ancient dragons, eat the messengers that come to them. They do not like being bothered, they do not like being woken up, and should you antagonize this beast, You may doom our city, much the same as the adult Red might. Do you have any assurances that you can get this dragon's friendship, either on your own individual level or on a city level, let alone that of a country?
I am a sorcerer of kin of metallic dragons. Not of gold, but perhaps that can provide some relation. And we've been tasked this by a long dead figure who must have known this creature. So I believe we won't be eaten. We won't be putting your city at jeopardy. And if we're wrong, the risk we're taking is most on ourselves. For certain.
Give me a persuasion check here, Jonal. Let's see how persuasive you are.
Because I hate this, John. I have a thing that lets me re-roll a failure for a sorcery point, but I don't know what failure is in this. Can I just get advantage for a sorcery point?
Sure.
All right, sounds good. I'll just put it in chat for.
Thank you. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay.
You come off, Jonal, as a very sincere person in this moment. And it sounds like you are being sincere. And this guy, this Lodar of Ren Abal, will contemplate for a while. Their names are known to us. The Double D's, as it were, are known to be a semi-reliable up-and-coming adventuring band. That said, you are not at the level to become royal messengers of the Buai dynasty. You are not affiliated with any guild, you are not affiliated with any true nobility, and thus we cannot give you the responsibility that you are asking us, nor the trust you are asking us to give you. However, if you are planning to head that direction to get your foot in the door, a sacrifice on our end can be made for the hope you will succeed. We cannot give you an offering of great riches or treasures. However, we can get you there faster than you would normally go on foot. I will state now that what we are prepared to offer you is a loan. It will not be a gift to you, and we expect the item back, but it is a flying carpet capable of transporting you all, as well as several hundred pounds worth of equipment. This will allow you to ignore any sort of ground terrain, such as rivers, or brush, or even creatures up to, I believe, 500 feet off the ground. You will have to avoid mountains and large hills, and any sort of flying creatures that may damage the item. It is a carpet. You can stab through it, and you can destroy it quite easily. These things are expensive to make, but we are willing to loan it to you to turn a several-week journey into a several-day journey instead. If you can get your foot in the door diplomatically, ask this ancient dragon if it will tolerate a negotiation, and then make it back to us. Then we can talk further about your status here. Otherwise, you'll die and the entire fucking thing will be destroyed. No big deal.
No loss to
Understood.
you.
Well, a magic carpet, which is,
Yes.
as our friend has said, a incredibly valuable and difficult to obtain item. And we
You
are
know-
thankful for your trust in us.
He looks to Osric, who looks like he was about to say something.
Do you know if Snell is aware that Sorrel is returned?
I think it's disappeared.
Well,
I
disappeared.
don't know what the dragon knows. No one has gone to speak with her in several decades.
Well, just a question. Thank you.
Indeed. I will not lie, the only reason we are even trusting you with this at all is for your service in killing a wyvern on a road. So do not thank me as if I'm taking some chances on you. I am taking a chance on you, but you have earned that respect.
Well, I think I can speak for my fellow Double Ds that we would gladly accept this offer and your trust in this matter.
Indeed. I must go check out this item. Return here when you are ready to set sail. We do not want you carrying the carpet inside the city as if it is a casual thing.
Of course. Yes.
We will prepare ourselves for departure.
Good. He'll leave you with Magistrate Dan. Corbin sort of just sat in on this meeting, for he is a highly influential judge connected to the royal family, and was kind of here to not just second, but also back whatever this man said, or jump in if there was like a legal thing. He has nothing of importance to say to you all, so he will quickly leave as well. Magistrate Dan looks to you all and says, "Okay, well, that was a heavy conversation."
Indeed, it was a heavy conversation for a heavy matter.
You might not know this, but the double D stands for Dealers of Dragons.
Is that so?
Also, dependable dudes. Another one.
Double Dwarves.
When it's just us, when it's just us, it's the double dwarfs.
Many of you
It's me and
Or
Janov,
dependable
the
dwarves.
initials.
It's another one.
Anyways, I'll escort you out now.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Thank you for your time.
I'm sorry.
I said thank you for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Dan, did you know that you could be a D in the double D?
You all walk to the gate. Guys, you have whatever time we have left to prepare, and then we will set out for our Forgotten Emperor Palace next session. So what would you like to do with this last hour?
We get more
Spiral
flippin'
about not
rations.
having a good enough offering.
How many
We go rob the Halfling Mafia.
blood diamonds do we have again? Didn't we have like more than enough?
We had
Yes.
10, but Bell took some.
Belle has some. I think she's canonically with us, right?
She is canonically with you until Greg tells me otherwise.
Okay.
Okay.
I can ask Greg for one of the blood diamonds.
Oh, we need an offering, so we've robbed the Halfling Mafia.
I'm always down to rob them.
Osric's like, I have a really good cigar.
We can also talk to a local archivist or scribist or the archives if we want more information, Jonal, about this palace.
I really wanted to cast Identify on this stupid knife.
You're not gonna like what you find.
I told you, it's magic.
It's a steak.
You don't
knife,
believe me?
Janal.
It's magic.
Alright.
I'm sure
It's
of it.
not even a big steak knife.
Did you see how much damage it did to that goblin?
It's for like those fancy snakes.
Did like 1d4, right?
Right, but then it only did 1 damage when it was.
Yeah, it was just a regular
Not
steak
used on
knife
a
against
goblin.
anything
Exactly.
that wasn't a goblin.
So it's magic against goblins. That's what I'm hearing is magic item, very strange and weird. Maybe one of a
I
kind.
think it is a good idea to talk to someone and see if there is historically a type of gift that she likes, if ever. She's got like river in her name, and maybe she really likes stuff to do with rivers. There was that water elemental. We can go ask if they have something.
Yeah, I could try to call out to A and see if she responds.
I mean, like a clay jar and bring
Offer
them
her
the
another
shell.
thing of wine.
Didn't we just get like plum wine?
Should we give her a demon seed? Should we go find the demon seed and give that to her?
No, I don't think so. But sure, I will.
eat this.
I will be back. I will go ask A if she knows anything about Shell of the Seven Rivers. Is that what I'm doing?
If you want to. I don't know. Don't drown, I guess.
I mean, you can ask her how her party was.
Yeah, you can also do that. Yeah.
An icebreaker, Jadal. That's what I'll
Yeah,
start
yeah,
with,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'll ease in to the heavy dragon talk.
Don't
Yeah,
fuck
that's
her
right.
either, because that's code for drowning. All right.
Don't tell me what to do, Osric.
I'm looking out for your safety facts.
Listen,
okay? There's no
and
way
don't-
she's into you.
Okay,
You got one
but you
eye.
have to like make sure it's a situation where you don't have to like explicitly say no either, right? We need her as an in for later.
Yeah.
Okay?
Give her a compliment, and then talk down about yourself. Say you're like impotent
Oh,
or something.
okay. I do go okay for myself. I don't need this advice from an
Yeah, I
elderly
have
dwarf.
6
Okay.
children. All right.
All right,
But you're a
party
dwarf.
brace. Let's start with Thymond. Thymond, what do you want to do?
I'm just confused about everything that just went down, so I have no clue. I listened to all of that and got no sense.
Thymond runs into a wall for 10 hours.
You know what I'll do? I'll work on boots. I've been shoeless this whole time. I got my boots wrapped for me.
I
Simon's
need to
making an
cobble your
offering.
shoes.
Well, I have hydro leather. I'm gonna make shoes.
Do you have a cobbler's tool proficiency?
Nope. But I have dwarven hands.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, give me a intelligence check, I guess.
Ooh, that's my strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
With some ugly boots.
Like glue them to his feet.
They're more like
3.
wraps than boots.
That works, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, alright. I put the leather on my foot. And then I wrap the leather around my foot.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
gotta
then
be an
I wrap
adhesive.
more
you find
leather.
String. You find rope.
It works.
It works.
I
If
could
you-
pay a cobbler to do this for me.
You could. And you probably should.
I'll realize I'm probably not a cobbler and go find a cobbler to make me shoes.
Okay.
Dwarven
We'll start
cobbler.
looking for a cobbler to commission
Well-
hydro leather boots out of what you have. How much hydro leather do you even have?
I have enough for a pair of boots.
That was.
Is
I
the-
do remember you very specifically
I have-
asked.
I have 2 pounds of hydro leather. Which is specifically the amount for boots. For some reason.
Let's
This
see if
is
this
from
cobbler
you,
knows
John.
what he's doing. He's like, oh, hydro leather. I'm no big hydro leather man. But I've made leather boots before.
Works for me.
Alright. I'll do my best job. Come back in a week.
I'll never see this ever again.
Just don't forget.
I'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back in a week.
Alright.
Did you look at the
If you don't
Yelp
return
reviews?
in a
The
month, I'm
fantasy
gonna sell
Yelp
it.
reviews.
On the open market.
Cool. I'll write my return 1 week to Kabul.
Yeah. He
We're
gets your
definitely gonna be
shoe
gone
size.
more than a week.
Yeah, I'm about to say maybe 2 weeks, but
Well, he said I got a month.
Got a month.
Ah.
Don't die.
I will.
He salutes you. They'll be waiting for you at your funeral.
If you do, I'll give you a lot of gold if they're at my funeral.
Joe Knoll, we jump to you.
I've got a knife to identify.
You identify a knife. This knife is a steak knife normally. However, when used against goblins, specifically goblins, not goblinoids, but just regular goblins, it does 1d4 instead of 1 damage. Thus, it is a knife of goblin slaying.
Sick.
It
Love
is
it.
quite sick. Osric! Anything you do?
Osric, being the father of the group and the grandfather of the group, takes a nap, and then goes and buys supplies for the journey.
Okay.
Rations, healing potions. He will take money from others if necessary to do his job. Shake down, pack some thymine in an alleyway somewhere.
Okay.
We need food!
I'm gonna let you get started on that. Imagine it is book price, if you wish to. Just add
Okay.
things and take money.
Alright.
Does anyone want to give Henrietta money so that she can buy stuff for the party?
How much?
here
do
it
you need?
is 165 silver.
Alright.
So, 16.5 gold.
I will. I'll give you 20 gold because I'm a better party member.
I'm not.
You don't have gold.
Got 165 silver
You give it
and
to the
25
homeless.
gold.
That should be more than enough, right?
Probably.
I believe it's a gold for 2
Quick
rations
mint.
or 1 ration?
Yeah, 2 rations for gold.
Make sure you bring food for Belle if she is here, and then we'll just have Greg reimburse you when that is possible.
If you really need gold, I'll toss them in, but
Greg has money.
I think
He
you
can
have enough.
help as well. It's not my place to use Belle's money for that, right? Alright. Pax, you go to the river. You start chatting up the local water nymphs. I'm gonna see if there are any water nymphs to chat up, first of all.
How many days are we gonna be gone? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
You're not sure
Passes it.
exactly, but, you know, pretend it's 10 days, if that. Pax, highs or lows?
Highs, always.
Highs always. You head down to the local river, looking for water nymphs. And instead, Pax, you find something far worse than any water nymph in the world. You find a bog witch. Or not bog witch, a bog hag, who will stare at you. Unenchanted, this size large crone with fungus growing out of her back. Moss is what clothes her. She looks at you and screams out, "Pervert!" immediately as you catch her bathing in the river. You close your eyes, and when you reopen them, she's gone in a cloud of sulfuric smoke.
Never gonna get that damage out of my head.
Please take 1d4
cursed.
psychic damage. The disgusting, disgusting swamp hag. You cry. 2 teardrops as you suffer 2 psychic damage.
Once that's over, I will open the bottle of plum wine, walking down the river, calling for A. See if she's near.
I'm not gonna lie, I rolled a natural 1 here. No water nymph is gonna show up in this area of the river. Once a hag taints this nice water, it's over, bro. This place is cursed. You beg aloud. Hey, please hear my voice. I know water nymphs can hear across this river, but none arrive.
I know the... Yep.
I'm so sorry. But the random encounter dice is sacred, and I must respect it.
Yep. I pop the cork back on the wine and head back to my party and tell them that a bog witch ruined my chances with the water nymphs. I got hag blocked.
It happens to the best of us. Really not your fault.
Thanks, Journal. Makes me feel much better.
Any other things we wish to do? We still have 50 minutes.
6 gold left over.
Should we buy potions of healing?
We have 4 potions of healing.
Maybe.
I
think we go gamble to earn the funds.
I think I can afford either 1 or 2.
This many military men in town, we could gamble with our money to get enough money to buy enough healing potions.
Honestly, in these times, there might be an upcharge for healing potions.
Yeah.
Only we had a person that's sneaky and could steal without it being traced back.
Those
to
are my
us.
old ways, okay? I don't do that anymore.
He's better than that.
No, do you want to run the old jam scam? Raise some funds so we can get some healing potions?
No.
How much is a healing potion again?
50.
Okay.
Yep.
Who here has more than 50 gold?
Just you two.
I actually have 3 platinum pieces still.
Oh.
Ozric buys.
Platinum pieces could be an interesting offering for the dragon as well. They are rarely found.
Should I not use them then?
You should use them sparingly. They are a
I'm trying to
It's
get a
a
healing potion so
magical
we can
and rare commodity.
I have 2 healing potions on me, and I have 39 gold. So if someone wants to contribute a little bit of gold, I will buy one
I'll buy-
more.
I'll
I'll buy your platinum
I'll give you
pieces
11.
off of you.
Huh?
I'll give you 11 gold.
Okay. Then we can
Are we
get one more
haggling in
healing
our
potion.
own party to our own party members?
I'm just offering to buy the platinum pieces at relatively standard price.
And
For 100 gold, I'll give you my platinum piece.
No.
You're not getting it then.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't
Let's not-
demand
Ozric
it.
is ignoring all of this and goes to buy a healing potion.
We find the local alchemist who will sell you a healing potion.
For 50 gold.
Yep.
Okay. Don't have to shake him down.
We're not upcharging yet. Scarcity is not a current concern.
Okay. I now have 0 gold pieces. You're welcome, everyone.
You're a hero.
How much are the healing
What else
salts
do we need
again?
to do?
They were 25, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds right.
What else must we do before we disembark?
Somebody made mention of checking the archives for something.
Oh, to see if there's historically a type of gift that Shell likes.
Or just information on the Palace of Forgotten Emperors in general.
I'd like
guess that's
information
also
on
important.
the Hoarfrost Witch, so we can all see if we can make a trip down to the archives.
Joe Null, I think you weren't in the session yet, but the elf guy, Demia, apparently knew her when she was around.
Yeah, but I hate that guy.
Okay, that's fine though. You head on over to the archives together as a cabal, having shopped, having gone to the river, having seen something you should not have seen. And you meet a crotchety old guy who stares at you all as you enter and says, what do you...
We'd like to request
hello.
some documents.
Oh,
Some
legal troubles
archives.
again?
Again.
Are you not the Iron Fit? Oh, there's two of you this time. You
Yeah.
dwarves
Not all
don't...
dwarves look alike.
I'm sorry, I'm
Eh.
near blind.
Oh.
Habits.
I'm also nearsighted, and I can't afford glasses.
How much are glasses?
Depends. Some people think they should be as high as telescopes.
No, it makes no sense.
I agree, it's super stupid. But that's D&D economy. Anything that gives you advantage on seeing is 1,000 gold, apparently.
Well, we're looking for historical documents pertaining to the great ruins to the north, the Palace of Forgotten Emperors, and its
Oh, you too,
dragon
eh?
guardian.
Ooh.
Oh, it's someone else.
Yes. Some sort of half-orc, I believe, as well as his party of ne'er-do-wells. They showed up asking for any and all information about the Palace of Forgotten Emperors, specifically related to Around a Throne.
Ooh. Are they still here?
I don't know.
When
It
was this?
days ago, like 4 or 5, right before the dragon attacked. On the 12th of Fantasy November.
I bet they're traveling on foot. We're gonna beat them there.
No.
I'm giving you a name?
Can we see the documents they looked at?
Yes, of course. Everything is publicly available here at the... He starts advertising for his emperor.
Also, the documents about the Hoarfrost Witch?
Oh, are you a fan of the Hoarfrost Witch too?
Yeah, she's best mommy.
2?
What?
What?
You're
I
not
didn't
one
say
of
anything.
those kinds
keep
of
saying
creepos,
2.
are you? You're not one of those
No, I
fan
would never.
fiction writers for an obscure historian character.
I don't know how to write, so I can't be a fan fiction writer. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
do you know how to
Can
read?
I can use magic to do it.
For a small service, we provide a reader for you, for the illiterate.
How much does it cost?
It costs a total of 2 gold. For an hour.
Done.
For an
sure.
hour.
I'll just pay for 5 hours, just whatever.
Jesus Christ. I'm not sure if we have 5 hours of documentation, but I'll go get my apprentice. He calls out.
It's a
Gorthalax, come out.
it's a tip, making sure it goes to the apprentice. Don't you goddamn take it from him.
It's part of the service that we provide. He's paid a salary for multiple things.
He's lying.
I would never lie. I'm a government worker. We're notoriously honest.
Yeah.
So this is a paid internship?
No, he's not an intern. He's an apprentice.
Mm.
One day he'll
Apprenticeship.
have my job.
Yeah. Apprentices pay him. It's different.
It's true. He's lucky to be
What?
in my service.
You can barely see.
And that's why when I keel over and die, he'll become the new archivist. And he'll be set for life. Clearly, you've never interacted with a feudal system of government before. Or an economy based on, well,
What?
Anyway, let's talk about
You kind
the
of
rules.
paying for the work that you. Okay, never mind. I'm walking
He
away.
hands a fan fiction book to Jonal. We'll start you off with this, and then a history, and then a blah 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 blah. What do you all want to know?
What is this book? What's the book that the other party was looking at?
It is about the early/late Second Age kingdoms and empires here in this region of the world of Eos Majoris. The Palace of Forgotten Emperors, nobody knows what empire it belonged to. It was kind of an assumption that when the gods were around during the Second Age, just sort of, making their idyllic garden states and sort of ruling in theological societies, that there wasn't really a need for mortal kings, emperors, or the like. The elves, for instance, don't have kings at all. They have, councils of wise men and the powerful, and when something happens, the powerful do stuff. This is a bold departure from the Eldar Protectorate of Eos Minoris, who, once all that age went away, the elves stepped up to the plate to rule with an iron fist. Which was all last campaign, but still historically relevant. Here, though, this was a majority human area, this great big river valley, and when the gods went away, when they fucked off or got obliterated by a certain wizard, a bunch of elven or human feudal lords and theological cabals, basically, established city-states, took over each other's land constantly, and got so bloody in this one region in particular that what would we call it? An elemental lord was enough and just flooded this entire region biblical style and flushed the entire societies away. So when we call stuff forgotten, it wasn't because there weren't historical records. It was literally all the historical records got obliterated by a massive flood, with most of the civilizations pushed to one side, but this one palace was outside of that already. It was outside this river valley. It's on the other edge of a mountain range, so it wasn't even affected, really. But nobody knows who it belonged to. It just sort of sits out in the middle of a barren wasteland. It has a gold cap on its pyramid structure, and a gold dragon has sat on it for who knows how long. There are a few exploratory records mentioning it, but it's not like grand histories or in-depth analysis. No one has been inside of it and then reported about what is there.
What about more modern records of them sending people to entreat with the dragon?
So when the Buaid dynasty took over, once the flood happened, right, in the historical record, that was the Third Age. Or I have the actual date somewhere, but I want to say it's around the 600-year mark of the Third Age. You guys are in the 1300-year mark, or 1350, 1351 year mark. So it's been a long time since the Buaid dynasty sort of took over this entire region. And most of these cities that you see on your map were built by them. And they expanded, as one does when you are an empire. And they made talk with copper dragons and brass dragons. And of course they realized there was an ancient gold up there. Just, to the, a gold dragon 600 miles away from your capital is kind of a big deal. But with Sarl's Kingdom of Fire and all the other fucking problems that come from the west, specifically the northwest, an ancient gold dragon sort of just hanging out on a pyramid and not ever seeming to come this direction the diplomatic policy was do not awaken it. And if it shows up, hopefully it doesn't destroy everything. So there's no diplomatic envoy that truly went out there and was like poking at it and being like, can we get your assistance on something? No one sought boons of the ancient gold. They know about her through what would we call it? Surviving written testimony of this creature's existence. But aside from that, it's like, hey, we don't really know what her goals are, or objectives are, or why she's there, but she's not burning us down. And metallics, although good aligned, are not necessarily boons to civilization. They are fickle creatures who do stuff for objectives we humans do not truly comprehend. That was a long form of me telling you there are none.
Well, then that other guy was crazy telling us that a bunch of people got eaten trying to seek boons of this guy. I don't know. I'm trying to make these connections with these other people were saying.
Let's say that this is a governmental office, so no official envoys and dispatches were sent to the Gold Dragon, but there probably have been attempts by independent groups, such as adventuring parties like yourselves, or other, let's call them danger seekers, who just want to see a Gold Dragon before they die. You show up and are like, hey baby, what's up? Dragon-blooded sorcery has to happen somehow, right?
True.
Thanks, Wizards of the Coast.
Those bards.
Yeah, literally 6 bards are like, hey, how you doing?
One day, Yancey.
Yeah, Yancey's on his way. He's just like, adjusts his hat.
Get him the big feather. This is my it's nice to meet you feather.
Excuse me. Any other archivist stuff?
I guess. Go ahead.
If you have more stuff on the Gold Dragon, go for it.
I was asking more about the other party that seems to be after our destiny.
All right,
Yeah.
I can jump in then, maybe. I want to ask about I want to talk about the Hoarfrost Witch. I know a little bit, like Jonal knows a little bit about the Hoarfrost Witch, but is largely uninformed. He knows that she's the one that froze the Dragon's Kingdom, that he's gotten his brief view into her as this, relatively modest wizard, setting about creating this quest for them to do all this stuff, and being sort of frustrated about it. So I'm interested in a couple of things. One of those being, like, her connections to other major powers, like the throne, and obviously she has a lot of connections because she's sort of the center of this Hoarfrost Alliance, right? So she must have, like, a lot of connections. And then stories of, like, where, like, her travels. Where did she go? Where did she come from? Like, all of these things of, like, her travels and connections, I guess, right? That's what I'm interested in, most of all.
So there is we can take this 2 ways, and I kind of want to know what Jonal would be most interested in. There is the myth of the Hoarfrost Witch, where it's super fantastical and greatly embellished, right? And maybe there are kernels of truth in them. And then there is the hard historical record of the history of this woman, right? Much like how we in real life have a Joan of Arc, for instance, and a bunch of anecdotes that probably didn't happen. And then we have the hard, boring truth of, random peasant girl shows up and is, like, present for 3 battles. Which, okay, cool. It's not as flashy. Which do you
I think this guy that's reading to me gets really fucking sick of me, because I'm very interested in both. I think that Jonal understands the fantasy. He enjoys the fantasy, though. And sometimes there are kernels of truth in the fantasy that can't be found in the histories. A piece of information that, through word of mouth, was never really able to be confirmed and made history, but is still true, and you can find that through there. And it also tells you a lot about the persona of the person, right? How the world viewed them. Even if it is not full of truths. And I think Jonal also just really is going to enjoy living in those fantasies a little bit. They're fun, right? That's why people write fan fictions. Anyway, point being, so I think Jonal is more interested in the histories because he's trying to find facts and complete a actual factual quest that she left. But I think he's willing to spend the whole 5 hours going over the histories twice and then going and having the guy read him fan fiction. So
let's start with the hard facts, and then we're going to jump to another person, and then if we have more time, we will.
I just need you to write me a fan fiction over the
I'm
next
not
week,
gonna
John.
do that. I'm so sorry.
5,000 words.
Normally, if it was for like the Tyrant of Tulsa,
One shot.
maybe, but
Enemies to lovers. Girl adventure. Fanfiction.
So, historical record, she shows up in the Third Age of the year 1931. Okay. That was when she first appeared as a late teen to early 20-year-old woman with a party of adventurers who fought a bunch of dragons. And this was in a time before the Empire, so Dwarven, Elven, and Buaid were the only players on this board. There were no other people, and they were scattered. There was Grana, which was an independent city-state at the time, but it was very small and diminished. And then there were basically just tribes of people. And that was kind of where, as well as like one weird sorcerer king, but we don't care about him anymore because he died, and got absorbed by Grana once his territories were. It doesn't matter. That goes into very weird history. So she shows up in 931, not 1931. Just hanging out with random humans, jumping around, being adventurous, and then one day she goes off on her own, having accrued either a magical item, a magical quest, or something of the sort. No one knows what her true objective was when she vanished, but in 10 years, so in 1941, she started to cement a legitimate alliance around herself, where she collected people who were quite skilled from a bunch of different factions, and then started to go around all the territories around Sarl the Insatiable's kingdom and played envoy on her own, backed by no country, and literally sat people down and was like, you need to make an alliance or you are going to get wiped the fuck out. Sarl's going to wreck your shit. And she did this over and over and over to all the countries that surrounded Sarl the Insatiable's lands, and people listened. The elves did it for the pragmatic fact of putting lesser creatures in front of them and dragon fire. The dwarves did it because it actually gave them infrastructural support to wage their war without having to grow their own fucking food, which dwarves hate doing. They would rather build machines of war, which are way more efficient than growing food against fucking dragons that breathe fire. The humans of the northern forest did it because they really like dwarf weapons, and growing food's way easier than making highly sophisticated machines of war. And also, their guy was a barbarian king dealing with fucking giants all the time and didn't have time for that shit. And the Hoarfrost Witch killed a lot of giants to make sure that they were on side. And then to the northern groups, we don't really have a map of the north right now, so I'm not going to focus on them too much. But basically, a bunch of sky pirates showed up and were like, hey, yeah, we'll do whatever you say, just don't fucking blow up our shit. And then they found out that trading on flying airships in a land filled with helium is way easier than attacking random people and also being attacked by dragons in kind. And the Buai did it just because of mercantilism. Guilds supported it, and everyone around the Kingdom of Fire was like, okay, dope, we're now together in this coalition. That took another 20 years, or not another 20 years, another 10 years. So in 941, the Hoarfrost Coalition's first year comes, and then she sets on a quest to freeze the entirety of the Kingdom of Fire, which she does 4 years later in 1945 or 945. Excuse me.
This should be 50, right? I have 31. She shows up. 41. She starts making the alliance. 51. She sets out on this quest in 55.
Yes, that is correct. I have my fucking timetable. It doesn't matter.
You're good.
You're 100% correct. That was 400 years ago when she kind of exploded. No one knows what happened to her. Nobody knows what spell she casts. Some people say it was divinely backed, like literally gods and goddesses had their hands in her fate, pushing her towards this. But no one knows for certain. And that's where the historical record ends in mystery. And then all the current living people who have anecdotes, like the elves, for instance, have opinions on her. Because there are a lot of elves that are still alive who literally saw, interacted, and spoke with this creature. But nobody knows where she got the spell. Nobody knows what spell she cast. And also, why was she so invested in getting this coalition together, which has succeeded in maintaining or corralling Sarl's forces. And it's just kind of one of those mysteries of history. Does anyone else have anything they want to do now that we have done some deep lore?
Sounds real fucking cool.
I know, right? Isn't she cool?
You're not writing a fan fiction about you and her, Janelle, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't know how to write. How many times do I have to say this?
Okay, well, so long as it
Even
stays
if
in
it's
your
just in your
dreams,
head.
okay? Just don't tell anyone, you know.
It's a picture book.
Stick figures. Janal and the Hoarfrost Witch holding hands.
Yeah. If you guys want, we can move on to the more mythological version of this story.
Anybody else have stuff they want to talk about?
Okay. Let's change the music to be more whimsical, because it's a whimsical tale. Legend states, Jonah.
Yes.
Legend states that a chill wind came from the north one day and breezed all across the Bros and Bros. No, some believe that she showed up from the east. Some people think she came from Eos Minoris, or the mountains, or somewhere outside of Eos Majoris. Because only an outsider could look at the circumstances of this land, realize how fucked it was, and also realize the danger that was Sarl the Insatiable. Others believe her to be an Azamar, or a demigod, who was disguising herself as a human woman, rather than a true, just witch or sorceress. People don't know if she was a witch, or a wizard, or a sorceress. If she was divinely inspired, then it would make far more sense that she was a sorceress, rather than a smarty pants-based ink caster. Excuse me. Some say she was half gnome, with how many magical artificers, or artifices, she brought wherever she went. There is a lot about her whirlwind romances all across the land with great big legendary heroes. But most of this is considered fanfiction, and you ignore it entirely. You're like, no way. That is her origin in the myth. Somewhere outside or divinely inspired. Let's see. When she became active and fought against the dragons, it was a close reminder to the story of Tyr, T-I-R, who was the legendary hero who killed Tiamat. Some called her a spiritual successor who sort of inherited his natural affinity against such winged beasts. She was known to not just combat the chromatic, but the metallic dragons as well, not truly seeing them as ally, nor incorporating them into her alliance despite their natural rivalry with chromatics. She is a hater, one could say, of draconic activity, and did not put trust in gargantuan-sized lizards. Oh. What else? She has several companions and historical figures. We kind of been over that. There are individual accounts of her great big adventures. These quote-unquote books or tomes have vague summaries this guy, your translator here, will tell you of. Basically, there is a story of how she gained trust with every single one of the factions, to the point where it's so narratively paced that you just can't believe it. It's almost rote of witch shows up to country in peril, solves problems, gets trust of royalty or greatest power structure, and then collects them under her banner, or representatives of her banner, until she does this 6 or 7 times, and then goes off on her one last quest to deal with Sarl, which ultimately fails, and she uses a spell to freeze him and his kingdom, rather than excuse me, rather than killing him, which is what she was originally intending. There is many stories that include that, or kind of contradict each other. Some say her goal was literally just to make the Everwinter Woods, and freeze the entirety of his kingdom. Others say that it was to legitimately kill Sarl, and it just sort of failed. And this became a consequence of her magics. Oh. That's kind of the broad strokes. If you have further pointed questions, I could maybe answer them.
No,
Did she have a god she worshipped or a higher power she answered to? As far as the myth goes?
As far as the myth goes, no. Nothing. She was never seen to be worshipping a goddess, nor holding or a god or goddess, a divine. She didn't have any sort of symbology like that. She had her own. Some of them would, some people would call it snowflakes falling on a field of black. Others would call it almost like shooting stars in a way. But her symbol, I suppose, was quite literally a banner of just black followed by white, simple star-like motifs, like a single snowflake branching out, or other sorts of iconography like that. If there is a god or goddess with that same iconography, no one has discovered them. But that said, there are a fuck ton of human gods and goddesses. All of them kind of share each other's spheres. Whew.
Do we ever get the
Dwarves,
name
any
of that?
Curiosity.
Can't think of anything else about the Hoarfrost I want.
Do we think there'd be any information about the specific dragon that attacked? Because I know dragons are old, and this one's only an adult, but given how long it takes for them to get to that age, there might be something on it. Although, there's also a good chance there's nothing on it.
Just
The
one of Sarl's
that
gifts.
recently attacked the city you're in is still unidentified. Nobody... Those who were close enough to survive its blast were too busy running away to truly get an identification from it. It's not like it shouted in Draconic, "I am John, destroyer of worlds."
Yeah, but like, how many kids does Sarl have?
He has a lot.
Do we have we have an ongoing list of all of them?
Boy gets down with it.
Other than
Oh.
that, I don't know.
Any
if there's
questions
much
about this
information.
adventuring party? Or our rivals you'd like to ask?
Well, this guy's
Yeah, this
blind.
was a half orc.
Yeah, there was a half-orc with a group of skulldugers. Some true rogues is how they were described by the archivist. He never got a name from the guy, and this is a place where you don't need to ask your name. You can just pull... This is a public office, right?
Yeah.
You don't need identification.
Who were the people? Who did we? No, they would have been behind us. The,
So if they left, I think it was like 2 weeks ago,
Try...
2 days.
Oh, just a couple days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we're definitely
not
gonna
long
beat them there, because we have a flying carpet.
Do we want
Maybe.
to try to
We'll have to
intercept
see.
this group?
yeah, if they have a gift for her, we can just kill them and take the gift.
Actually, when you put it like that, this sounds like a much better plan.
Listen, sometimes you gotta. This is now 3 rocks with a single stone. All right, getting
Well,
a gift.
If they have an offering, we could steal it from them, and then...
That's what I was saying. You're just repeating the same thing I said back to you, Pax.
Well, but when you
Good
say
at
it,
that.
doesn't sound as good, so let Pax say it.
Wow. Okay.
We steal
okay,
it by
okay,
stabbing
okay.
swords through their hearts and taking
Mhm,
everything
mhm,
they
mhm.
own.
Anyone else want to say the same thing I said, but different?
I'm just agreeing with. I think it's a great idea. I think
Okay.
you bringing it up is actually one of the greatest things you've ever said to me. And I'm
Yeah,
with you.
thanks,
Wow.
Pax.
That's the greatest thing.
I said one up.
No, I think I came up with a great plan. We take their stuff,
Mm-hmm.
possibly.
While you
Are
are taking
we-
their
You only
stuff,
got one to
me,
lose, Pax.
me and Osric will speak with them privately.
Just a conversation.
Yeah.
No
While
violence.
Mhm. Well,
I've never had a violent conversation in my life.
I'm gonna speak to them in a language you might not know. It's gonna sound very loud and like things hitting each other, but
Yeah.
Process, we are talking.
That's
I will
Dwarven,
remind
actually. You
your
haven't
flying
heard it yet.
carpet will have 5 hit points and can be attacked by mundane objects.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
We-
no, that's what we're gonna
We
leave
want to
Jonal
spot
with.
them, and then
Jonal's
we need to set a
Jonal's gonna
trap.
land us
just
in
throw
front
We're
of
not
him.
gonna
Yeah.
Okay.
like. Yeah, we don't want to get in a fight on the
This
flying.
is a
Little
murder
known
fact.
plot, by the way.
Dwarves can
I want
fly.
you all to understand that. And
Mhm.
there will be docking you cruelty points if you commit this action. Okay.
The Insatiables being cruel? I would no.
No, you're the
We'd be,
double
if we
Ds.
weren't cruel, we'd be satied.
Also, it would only be cruelty points if we get found out for doing this.
Yeah. But also spiritually, you're
conscience
gonna
is clear.
carry that weight, for sure.
For sure.
That's a great quote from
Well,
Cowboy
okay, if we
Bebop,
spy
and I
on
am
them
willing to
and we
carry
see
that
them
weight.
like kick a puppy, or talk
Yeah,
about
if
kicking
Osric
puppies.
regularly kicks dogs outside of view of other people, I would definitely give him cruelty points.
No, I'm saying if these people kick puppies and if we kill them, we're morally
You don't know these
just.
people. They're neutral zombies to you.
They were described as truly
Scoundrel-like.
Truly
Scoundrel,
evil
yeah.
people.
But you know, I'm just
This
saying,
man also has
guys,
bad eyesight.
Listen, let
Committing
us
to a
do the
murder
bad
plot
thing
before
and
you
then
even know the
make us
identity.
regret it later, John. Okay?
Yeah. Let us do
Let's
the bad
get
thing.
the bad
first,
thing
John.
You get to
first.
regret it first, and then you get to regret it later too.
This
It's
is
a
too much
regret
regret.
sandwich.
But also, my idea is we just rob them in the night, take their offerings and some of their
I
other
mean,
stuff, and
Hey,
Cruelty
That's
point
a
is a
greed
cruelty
flag.
point. Oh, is that
We'll
greed?
see. We'll see.
Okay.
I'm going for greed. Y'all can go for cruelty.
It's true.
I mean, if you steal all their food while they're in the middle of the desert, I think they're gonna die.
I didn't
Well,
say
we're not
for
gonna steal their food.
I only have 2 cruelty points. I can get one more.
Besides, they have motorcycles. There's no way.
I can get one more.
Oh, I'm stealing their motorcycles if they have motorcycles. That's the coolest
Yeah,
thing
alright.
ever.
They're just plain fucking.
We're offering those to the dragon.
Yeah. You want this motorcycle? You want this Harley? Look at
Okay.
this.
Any other questions for the archivist before I head us out? Okay.
I guess he didn't catch the half orc's name.
No, they never asked, nor did they give it.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask the assistant. I want to slip the assistant a silver piece. But did you hear any interesting information from this group of people?
Let me roll a dice to find out.
A silver piece just for him, just for this wee boy who's waiting for this old man to die.
Well, now that you bring it up, for 1 silver piece, I
Mhm.
know that at least one of them's name was Alan.
Alan is an evil name historically. Only the worst people have been named Alan.
Yeah.
This person's parents set them up to be evil.
All right, we have a name
and
that we can. If we yell this name out into the dark and we see them react, we'll know it's them. Alan! Pretend to be the mom.
How does that guy know my
Alan,
name?
come on!
Okay.
All right, thanks, kid.
He's like, no problem. Anything for 1 silver piece. Guys, let me do some experience real quick. This was a heavy lore episode and roleplay session. But I liked it. As we continue to sandbag the campaign so Greg can play with us again. Wherever you are, Greg, I hope you're doing okay. And
I
also,
hope you're doing great with taxes.
come join us. We need you. I need you. To make fun of these people so that they don't turn on me eventually.
we already turned on you.
Fuck you. Everyone, go ahead and take 405 experience points. No reputation gain, unfortunately. But we learned a lot. Which is highly indicative of where this campaign is going to go as well. Specifically, we hate elves. We love the Hoarfrost Witch. We
Love her.
hate the government. As
Yes.
well as we love
Alan.
Iron Fist Conan. Those are 4 big
We
things.
love
I know about.
Iron Fist Cohen. Where's our embassy points? For how much governments like us, which is so far in the negative.
That's true.
But
All
they
right.
have to deal with us.
Any shoutouts we want to make?
Shout out to Iron Fist Cohen.
Based.
Love that guy.
We love that guy.
We're gonna call him up and beat the
Shout out
shit
to
out of the
the
dragon.
water nymphs.
We're not
Sorry.
answering.
Shout out to the water nymphs. I would have met y'all, but I got hag blocked.
It's unfortunate.
Shame. That nymph definitely would have had the information that we needed to crack this case.
Why
That
she
was the
called
secret
it the
police
7
clear
rivers?
mistake.
Oh, she used to have 7 rivers. Like, oh, well, okay then.
Can we give her a river?
Maybe.
We make a river, would she be cool with that? She'd be like, oh my god, thank you. I only had 6. I lost the 7. Years ago.
Well, it dried
We
up.
dropped it somewhere.
Okay. I'm gonna call it here then. You guys, have a good night wherever you are. Stay salty, I believe is Pax's normal call out.
Be patient.
There we go. Be patient. We will see you
Stay
guys
salty.
next week. Hopefully next Wednesday with a happy Mists of Rule game as well. Bye!